What's up, guys? Bailey here. So today in this video we are going over my UFC 316 predictions. So we're just gonna go on ahead and get started. I'm not gonna waste everyone's time. So we got Vicente Luque versus Kevin Holland, Mr. 4570 himself. Um, I got this. To be honest with you, I'm just praying on Kevin Holland's downfall. I really don't think he's that great of a fighter. His grappling is very underrated, but his mentality is super shitty. I think that's his problem. Ever since he went on Rampage's podcast, he seems very complacent in the way he is among the contenders, right? While Vicente Luque, he's got a great chin, he's got a high, tight guard. I don't think he's necessarily more rounded than Kevin Holland. I just think that he's more hungry than Kevin Holland. I think Vicente Luque, if Kevin Holland were to win anyway, it'd probably be a submission, first or second round. I don't see that happening, though. I see Vicente Luque probably getting the decision, I would say. I think it's probably going to go the full way. I don't really see him knocking out Kevin Holland, and I don't really see Kevin Holland going, above and beyond to get anything done here with Vicente Luque. Next, Mario Batista versus Patchy Mix. Now, Patchy Mix, or Patrick Mix, or whatever you want to fucking call him, he is from Bellator. And as we all know, Bellator guys have been on a hot streak, right? We have Michael Venom Page. We had, a lot of guys, who've been coming over, and they've been having some success. I don't think this is going to be the case, and I've seen people on TikTok, Patchy Mix is aura farming, right? He's finished all the guys, he's finished guys in the top 5. He's finished guys in the top 10 who are still competing, and all I got to say is there's different levels to the game. Patchy Mix has a lot of power, right? But he's not on high of a level. Where Mario Batista, his grappling and, holding people against the cage, it completely nullifies the pressure. It completely nullifies anything that, all those, a prime example. When he fought Jose Aldo, there was nothing. Aldo didn't have anything for him. The only downside to fighting like this is Mario Batista's fucking boring, okay? He's fucking boring. The saying, fight like rents do? He fights like rent is never due. That's the best way I can put it to you. He fights as if, you're in a fucking library and it's like someone's telling you to be quiet every 10 seconds when you're fighting. That's kind of what it feels like watching a Mario Batista fight. I don't think he's entertaining. I don't think he's that great, to be honest. I do think he's going to win. I just think he's just going to grapple the shit out of him, and I think it's going to be a decision. If I do see it any going way in Patchy's favor, to be honest with you, I don't want Batista to win. I really hope he gets knocked the fuck out. I really hope so. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I think Mario Batista is just going to grab him, wrestle him, pin him against the cage, and I think that's all we're going to see. Yeah, so next we got Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer. I got Joe Pyfer by assault with a deadly weapon because he's a police officer. I really think he's just going to fucking try to arrest Kelvin Gastelum and just fucking use some cop techniques on him. But no, in all seriousness, Kevin Gastelum, he has the experience. He's fought at somewhat of a championship level, right? But he has everything else going against him. Joe Pyfer's taller. He's in better shape. He's more well-rounded. He's just better, I think, overall. I could really see Joe Pyfer getting the knockout. I could really see him going and trying to finish this thing in second round, maybe even the first, right? Because in the first round, Joe Pyfer comes out and he just wings it. He throws everything into his shots. Where Kelvin Gastelum, it's an accumulation, and people want to say, well, what about his fight with Israel Adesanya where he hurt him a couple times? It's an accumulation of punches. Of course, if you hit somebody 100 times, they're going to get hurt on the 100th punch. Kelvin Gastelum doesn't have that one hit power that completely changes the dynamic of the fight. Kelvin Gastelum's grappling, it's good enough where if Joe Pyfer wanted to get a takedown and beat his ass, Gastelum would know just enough to maybe get out of it. So yeah, I definitely got Joe Pyfer winning this one by a knockout for sure. Next, we got the co-main event, you guys. Co-main event. Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison. I'm not even going to lie. I think I have more to say about this fight than the next one. This is an interesting fight because according to odds makers, here, let me just switch these around. Giving Kayla Harrison a minus 600 favorite is wild. I accidentally put on the wrong side, but don't worry. I think Kayla Harrison, this might be a hot take. I truthfully think she's completely overrated. I really, really do. A lot of people look at like her judo, and a lot of people look at like her Olympic, and champion in Bellator, and they're like, great, great. Do we really think that like she's just gonna go in there and like completely fucking ragdoll Juliana Pena? Like, do we really think that's how this fight's gonna go down? Like, no offense, Nunes can do that, and Nunes is like 20 times leagues above Kayla Harrison as a fighter. So yeah, like Kayla Harrison, she's stronger, she's bigger, she's got more, like size and strength. But Juliana Pena is scrappy and she's experienced. She's fought at the championship level in the UFC numerous times. Kayla Harrison hasn't fought one time in the UFC, much less for a title in a division she's never even been in. We see, and no offense, I'm really not even trying to be insulting, but we look at Kayla Harrison, it's like, come on. I mean, you're not all natural. You're 165 pounds, and you're like not even 5'11". That's a problem, I mean, and it's like, you're 135, you're going to be 155 on fight night. You know what I mean? And it's like, and there's levels to the game. And that is my biggest emphasis here is the experience. Levels to the game. Bellator World Championship and UFC World Championship or Strikeforce World Championship and PFL, those things are different than a UFC World Heavyweight Champion or a World Bantamweight Champion or Flyweight Champion. It does not matter. On any division level, UFC guys are a higher level because it is a whole company literally constructed to have the best in the world. Do I think Kayla Harrison is going to go in there and put on a performance where it's like, no, she's minus 600, 700 favorite? Absolutely not. I don't think really the betting makers know what they're talking about too much because I can really see Kayla Harrison quitting. I can really see her fucking turning it in. Like, I really do believe if she can't get Pena out of there within the 2 to 3 round period, which she won't, I know she won't, then she will give up. Pena is more scrappy. She's more experienced. We already know what she's going to be like in a dogfight. Her and Nunes were slugging it out for like 4 rounds. Pena was kind of getting her ass beat a little bit, sinks in the choke and chokes out Nunes and wins the title and beats the GOAT. What has Kayla Harrison done? Ducked Chris Cyborg when she made it there and you left? Ducked, another hot Brazilian prospect because he didn't want to get knocked out? It's almost like a female John Jones. It's like, we get it. You don't want to leave that visual out in the world of you don't want to be flat on your back knocked out. Well, guess what? It can happen. You're not like fighting nobody. You're fighting someone you're fighting Juliana Pena. Now, I get it. She's sloppy. I understand that. She fucking punches like she learned from like a fucking feminist like self-defense class. Nothing. Zero. Like, right? No technique at all. But she's more well-rounded. Kayla Harrison's striking fucking sucks. It is horrid. Like, for someone who claims to be as high level as she is, her striking's not all there. Okay, grappling, it's judo. What are you going to do? Pena's hitting you in the face. Boom, 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 boom. What are you going to do? Go for a little fucking judo sweep? I got Pena fucking winning this. And if you disagree, you're a casual. Kind of hate to say it, and I don't like to throw out that slur very often, but you're a casual. If you really think that Kayla Harrison's going to go in there and judo sweep her way in and Pena's just going to be like, okay, like, cool. I'm not saying Pena's going to 100% win because that's fucking impossible. But to sit here and say like, oh no, Pena's just going to completely just get fucked. No, like, that ain't going to happen. Okay, now we got the main event. We got Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley. This is the fight that everybody wants to see, that everybody's curious about. Sean O'Malley, no gooning, no smoking, and fuck it, man, no Instagram either. He's a new man. He even has brown hair. But Merab Dvalishvili, widely considered to be the bantamweight GOAT of today's era. Widely considered by many people, by Lucas Tracy, by a lot of guys, he's considered to be the GOAT. Now, I'm Unk. He's not my GOAT yet. I'm still like prehistoric. I'm still like Dominic Cruz. Like, if he beats Sean O'Malley, he is the bantamweight GOAT. Absolutely, bar none. Like, he's the bantamweight GOAT. I think that Merab's biggest advantages that I don't really know if Sean can counter is his cardio and his pressure. Merab's cardio is absolutely inhuman. We've seen it. We've watched it firsthand when he did to Umar. I picked him to beat Umar. I hate being right, but, you know, it's a curse. I picked him to beat Umar. He beat Umar. You know, and I think he's going to beat Sean O'Malley. Now, I don't think it's going to be as one-sided maybe, or as like, I think it's going to be a fucking scrap. I really hope it's going to be a good fight, because Sean O'Malley always has that one-hit power. He has that one-hit ability that if Merab shoots in and he gets a counter right, hey, he can get fucked. Just boom, right hand, done, down the pipe, and it's over, right? So some things I want to talk about in between is these two guys are tough and high level. I don't think we understand how tough these guys are. His fight against Piotr Yan, watch that fight, 3rd round. His fight against Cejudo was a great fight. He's had a lot of great fights where Merab's been cracked, and we're like, oh shit, like he's done. Nope, and he shoots for like 40 takedowns and he wins. So yeah, the grappling is obviously on a higher level, but this is one of those things where it's like who is going to be able to impose their will the most, because we got masterful, masterclass striker, one-hit power, diverse attacks, more weapons. You know, Sean O'Malley, right? What's there not to like? Merab Dvalishvili, cardio, pressure, grappling. And I mean, and not only that, like, I mean, he's not the most advertisable looking dude. He's not a huge personality. I think Merab is going to beat him. And I really do. Like, I don't see where this fight will go where Sean O'Malley is like in an advantage. I think out of the first 2 rounds, I see Sean O'Malley, he needs to make this a war. He needs to make it a war, and he needs to try to knock him out. That would be my advice. If I was his coach, if I was, I think his coach is Tim Welch. If I was Tim Welch, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, I would sit here and say, dude, you need to go fucking knock him out, because he's not going to get tired. We know that. He's not going to like weaken. His technique's not going to worsen. He's going to stay consistent. You need to knock him out. So yeah, that is my full card breakdown and picks for UFC 316. You know, listen, this is what I think. I think Merab's going to win. I really do. And I think that if he beats Sean O'Malley, he's the GOAT of the division, bar none. And I don't think there's really any debate about it. But yeah, guys, I'll see you guys in the next prediction video. Yeah, peace out. That's all I got.